Yo, what's up everyone? Back for a Saturday NBA video. Recording this just a few hours before lock, but I still wanted to get something out there. So let's get into it. You can drop a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. We have 7 games today. We had like a 5 o'clock game as well, which is not on the main slate. First game up, Denver and Orlando. That has like the lowest total on the slate. I don't think anybody is really looking at that game as a game stack. The game that I like as a lot as a game stack is the last game, the late night hammer between the Sixers and the Blazers. You got 2 of the top 6 teams in pace this season. Sixers are 4th, the Blazers are 6th. Sixers could even play a little bit faster without Embiid out there. Embiid definitely, they do play a little slower when he's on the court. Portland, on the other hand, if Whiteside misses, then they could probably go small and they could play even faster. So I think this game is going to go very fast. Probably take the over on it if you are a betting person. And I think it's really, really great for a stack just because you have value on both sides with the Embiid out and with Collins out and maybe Whiteside. You got value and you got the studs. You can fit in all the superstars and play the value on both sides. So that's the game I like a lot as a game stack. And then the second one I think is probably Minnesota-Washington, just because without Towns, you got some value on Minnesota, which looks pretty appealing. And then maybe you could go with like a few Suns or a few Grizzlies. And probably the Warriors game is going to get ownership if Draymond Green misses. Got the battle of 2 terrible teams in Golden State, but you can still find some value there. But I think the Portland game is where I want to go. Just feel like it's going to be super competitive. You got nice prices on a lot of the guys, starting with Damian Lillard, 9,100. He has just been playing so well this year. He has 50-plus in 4 out of the 5 games. 50 DraftKings points is basically what you're looking for at a 9,100 price tag. Obviously, want to get up to 60, which he can definitely do that. He is just playing so many minutes. Look at the amount of minutes he's playing. You're not getting 34, 35 minutes. In close games, you're getting 38 or 39 minutes. If I can get 39 minutes of Damian Lillard in a fast-paced matchup here against the Sixers team, which is still good defensively, but it's not going to be as good without Embiid out there. No rim protection, really, except for Horford. Sign me up there with Lillard. Just think he's one of the better point guard options on the slate. I would have had a lot of interest in Wiggins, but on DraftKings, he's up to 7,100. If he was like 6,300 again, I would be all over that. But 71 is not like a great price tag on any guy that just is so scoring dependent. He has averaging 1 assist per game. He's never been like a top end rebounder. He's really, if he's motivated, he can go out there and put up 30 points, but you really never know with him. I like McCollum at 67 as a value. You also might get some value on Detroit with Derrick Rose questionable, with Frazier questionable, so you could look there for some value when that news breaks. But I like McCollum on the other to pair with Lillard. These two just dominate the usage. They play so many minutes alongside each other, and they're both very, very productive. They dominate the usage for the team, and nobody else really takes anything away from those two. They're going to just put up big scores all year long, and McCollum is just a really good all-around player. He's not great with the peripherals, but he can still get you a few rebounds, a few assists per game, and now 6,700, him being cheaper than Wiggins, I feel like I'll go there in a fast-paced matchup at home. Should be a really good game. Should be great to watch this game as well. So, and it's a late night hammer. So a lot of people don't really love stacking up the last game just because they like to see their fantasy points early on in the night. At small forward, getting with the Sixers, Ben Simmons, 8,700. Just so cheap just really cheap without Embiid out there. He hasn't had a 50-point game yet, but I think that's a good chance they can come tonight. Against Portland, they play fast. He just has a huge advantage over Lillard. I don't think Lillard is going to defend him. They probably put like Rodney Hood maybe on him. But still, Simmons has a matchup nightmare for anybody. For any one of the Blazers that matches up to him. Triple-double upside. He's been really racking up the steals this year. And just a great point per dollar play. Points per minute take a huge hike without Embiid on the floor. And it's just a really good spot, I think. At power forward here, you could go with like Covington at 54. That's pretty appealing. But I think the guy you want on Minnesota is Noah Vonleh 4,200 for Vonleh, who is probably going to start in place of Towns. He is so cheap. He's on FanDuel. He's like min price 3,500, so definitely a lock there. He's not min price on DraftKings, but 4,200 for a guy that, as long as he doesn't get into foul trouble, should see high 20s, low 30s in minutes. He's been, he's had some monster games in the past when he's given some opportunity. And the Wizards are really bad at rebounding. They are bad just overall defensively. I could see Vonleh put up like 8-9x at this price tag. And back to the guard, go Josh Richardson. Just really like the price tag on Richardson at 7,100. I think that's pretty cheap for a guy that is, he hasn't played a ton, but that's because Sixers have kind of, last game was a blowout against Minnesota. Game against Atlanta Embiid was there, and he just dominated that game, but he still put up 30 fantasy points. I think there's a great chance you're going to get 6x value at least from Josh Richardson tonight. All you need is 30 DraftKings points to hit that 6x value, and if he has a good shooting game or continues to rack up the steals and blocks like he's been, he could bump that up to like 7x, maybe get 7.5x, maybe 8x if the game happens to go into overtime or something. So 5,100 for Josh Richardson, really cheap for a guy that also does play backup point guard when Simmons takes some rest. And last but not least, going to be Tobias Harris. 7,300 for Tobias Harris, just going to dominate the shot attempts in this one, probably without Embiid. He has taken 15-plus attempts in 3 straight games. He is still finding his stroke from 3. He hasn't been great except for that one game against Detroit. But you're going to get really good minutes from him. He's been a really good rebounder, averaging almost a double-double on the year. He is probably their number one option to score the basketball this game. Definitely their number one option. If I had to rank the Sixers, it would probably be Simmons. Just based on the prices, it'd probably be Simmons, Harris, Richardson, Horford. I like all 4. I think you can make a lineup with all 4 work. And on the Blazers, I like Lillard, McCollum. And you still got some value here on Portland. The prices are still very cheap on like Tolliver, who's not a great point per dollar play, but he's only 3,300. You got Hazonia, 3,600 if like Whiteside misses. And you got Rodney Hood. I like Hood at only 3,900. He's playing just 34 minutes a night, and he's going to have some big games every once in a while. It's not going to happen every night, but if you pick and choose the right spots, if you get lucky a little bit, he could have like a 7. He could have just like a similar game to what he did in against Dallas, where he put up 34, and at that 3,900 price tag, that's can win you like a tournament. So I think Hood sticks out just because he's sub 4K. And Whiteside, hopefully we can get this news before lock, but at least on DraftKings you can switch. But yeah, and Horford is really appealing. They're 7K, just gonna get a ton of rebounding opportunities. He hasn't been super aggressive shooting the basketball, but he will in this one without Embiid. Against Atlanta, he only took 4 shots. That's definitely not going to happen tonight. But that's it. That's definitely the game I have a lot of interest in. If you're looking at like the Warriors here, if Draymond Green misses, you could look at like Pascal. Or they just have so many kind of just guys that are so scoring dependent. I won't be shocked if they struggle to put up points. Besides, Russell is going to score a lot. But this game, battle of 2 pretty bad teams. I think it is going to be pretty popular. But I think you got the late night hammer, which really sticks out as a stack. And this Memphis side, I like Devin Booker's pretty solid. Oubre, Rubio. You got Jonas Valanciunas, who got up to 23 minutes, so maybe he can get up to like 25 in this one. Pretty good point per dollar play at only 6,500. And last guy is Aaron Baines, who really won people a lot of money last game out with 59. They haven't missed a beat with him instead of DeAndre Ayton, which is really saying something. But at 5K against a big Memphis team, he should see some minutes. He should see a lot of minutes as long as he doesn't become foul happy. And Sarge as well, another guy that's been playing pretty well given the increased usage without DeAndre Ayton out there. So that's what I'm looking at for this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.